You're out on a date. And it's like, hey, what would you like to drink? And she said, well, maybe I'll just have an iced tea. And you say, awesome. And then you whip out the stainless steel straw that you just happen to have on you, right?
In its case.
Yeah. Would you care for one? I have two. And she looks at you like, you carry a straw with you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not a straw. It's a stainless steel straw. Because I worry about PFASs. Those forever chemicals are out there, and they're going to get you. There's a small study in Europe that they think paper straws may have some of them in there. So we're going to use stainless steel. Yeah. And she says, I got a really bad headache. I think I have to go.
I have to go.
Popular science. Forever chemicals detected in paper and plastic straws. Didn't we do a little story about this before? We did a little forever paper chemicals. I love that. The forever.
Maybe popular science. I don't remember paper and plastic straws.
No, but it was forever chemicals. Remember? I love that phrase. The forever. Forever. Yeah.
That's just sad.
But no, this is popular. Eerie. The reason I pick on this story is it was published in Popular Science. I like Popular Science. I read the story and I thought, what editor picked this to review?
Yeah.
So forever chemicals, and that's in quotes, was detected in paper and plastic straws. Now that's the headline. Okay, that's a little scary. Yeah. Forever chemicals, that sounds pretty bad. It's like they're forever. So then it goes on to say a small study suggests, let me read that again. A small study suggests that stainless steel straws may be safest option to avoid PFAS. Now, Sean, can you tell me what is a PFAS?
I don't know.
PFAS, Sean, everybody knows a PFAS. It's right there in the headline.
I know. Well, it's funny when you're reading that, I was like, what's a PFAS?
Okay, so you read the headline. And the reason I picked on this story is because it has a very misleading headline. Okay, yeah. Popular Science is going to scare you about forever chemicals. They've been detected, okay, in paper and plastic straws. You may want to use stainless steel because it doesn't have those PFASs. Okay, what does that mean? Well, 2015, you remember this picture of the sea turtle? Remember the turtle with the plastic straw up its nose? You remember that?
I have not.
Remember that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at him.
Holy moly.
I know what kind of straw that is.
Yeah, I was like, that's a plastic straw? You know what? I think it's
turtle.
a tool to take it out.
Sea turtle. And by the way, when you watch how they take it out, this turtle bleeds like a pig.
Yeah,
holy cow.
Watch it.
Anyhow, in 2015, a viral image of a sea turtle with a plastic straw up its nose made the single-use plastic item environmentally public enemy number 1. And that's true. That image changed everybody's perception of the common straw. Okay? And because of such, it ushered in the era of polarizing paper straws. Got it? Mm-hmm. We need paper, not plastic. Yep. Now, some new research found that paper straws might have some downsides. And not just because they tend to crumble under pressure. Now you can't. There he is. Yeah. You know what he's saying? If only I would have had a paper straw on my nose.
Oh, man.
A small European study that tested 39 brands of straws that was published on August 25th in the Journal of Food Additives and Contaminants found that some brands of paper straws, now again, a small study found that some brands of paper straws contain a harmful group of synthetic chemicals known as this is a tough one, perfluoroalkyl substances, the PFASs. These, quote, forever chemicals, end quote, were found in the majority of the straws tested in the study and were most commonly detected in straws made from paper and bamboo. Mm-hmm. Paper straws are now unsafe. The plastic straws used in this paper also contain a high number of PFASs, and the authors recommended using reusable steel straws instead. So let's follow the bouncing ball. Yeah. Plastic straws are bad because one turtle had one stuck in its nose. Therefore, it's an international crisis. The turtle obviously didn't die. Yeah. Probably a little uncomfortable. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but one turtle got one straw up their nose, so let's change the entire world where we can't use straws. We got to go to paper. Do you ever use a paper straw?
I have, like at old-fashioned diners, shakes. I enjoy them. The only thing is the wear and tear on it, I don't enjoy.
Right.
When it starts degrading, I hate that.
The minute they get wet.
Exactly.
With like whatever you're
it's paper.
drinking.
Yeah.
The minute you start using them, they turn into like paste. They get mushy.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a great alternative. But what are they recommending in the study?
Stainless
steel. Ooh. So let me ask you, Sean.
Yeah.
You're out on a date, and it's like, hey, what would you like to drink? And she said, well, maybe I'll just have an iced tea. And you say, awesome. And then you whip out the stainless steel straw that you just happen to have on you, right?
In its case.
Would you care for one? I have two. And she looks at you like, you carry a straw with you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not a straw. It's a stainless steel straw. Because I worry about PFASs. Those forever chemicals are out there, and they're going to get you. There's a small study in Europe that they think paper straws may have some of them in there. So we're going to use stainless steel.
Yeah.
And she says, I got a really bad headache. I think I have to go.
I have to go.
Am I right?
No, I think you are.
You're going to carry a straw around with you?
No, and I don't. Yeah, it's just impractical.
Where would you carry a straw with you? Let's be honest. Where would you carry a straw with you? I mean, unless you're at home. Well, okay, when most people don't probably use straws.
That's a good question.
So why don't you explain to me, Sean, the paper straw which you receive? And by the way, all straws. Let's be honest. Whenever you go to a restaurant, right, all the straws will come to you via the courtesy of the restaurant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They don't say, "Oh, would you like a stainless steel straw?" They give you a paper wrapped straw, right? So you would literally have to walk into that restaurant with your date and carry your own straw. Now, to me, aside from the fact that that's extremely unlikely, probably not particularly sanitary. Where was that straw carried? It was in my pocket with my Kleenex.
Because what are you going to? Yeah, what are you going to do? Recycle stainless steel, or are you going to? Obviously, it's reuse, right? Because you're going to clean it. There's going to be standards.
Hey! It doesn't have PFSs. PFAS. I'm very conscious about you not getting sick from PFAS. Is that a small study in Europe said some level was detected in paper straws. Okay. Now you see the ridiculousness.
So this is really random, but this just took me down a path which I think you're going to enjoy. So I'm just going to put this. I think the stainless steel recommendation is a bit absurd on a lot of levels, which you've already shed light to. One of the other levels too of like when we come up with new solutions in this country, in this case with stainless steel, if you want to mass produce and distribute stainless steel straws to restaurant owners, cool. Go for it. But we already know the level of work to maintain those among your labor force is going to be higher, right? Like there's just going to be more work you're adding to people's plate. And that's one of the
how much does a stainless steel straw cost? I mean, $9.
More expensive. Labor hours and costs are probably going to go up. And to compound it, one of the other things that's happening right now, I don't know if you've seen this in the news, but like I think it was Berlin Coat Factory. I'm forgetting the region. It might have been in Detroit. But anyways, there are a number of big businesses that are permanently closing down on certain days where they used to be open every single day on a set schedule because they don't have the labor to work. So they're pushing away sales. So we're just in a tricky place of the economy where you've got big business already pushing away customers. And on top of that, we're obsessing over these isolated anomalies, right? This happened to this animal. I'm not saying it's not valid, but it's so minutia level compared to these huge problems that we have to tackle.
You hold on. I got to give you the ding, ding, ding.
Thank you.
Hit it.
Thank you.
We've got really, really big problems that need to be solved in this country. Nobody wants to talk about the big problems. We want to waste time talking about minutia. You know why, Sean? Because big problems require big thinking, bold thinking. We don't have bold thinking in the United States of America anymore. We have small thinkers. We have people that basically are glorified gossipers. Okay, that's so we waste a lot of time talking about nonsense. We worry about things that are not even worth worrying about. As our country is falling apart literally around us, crime is rampant, inflation is out of control. We can just go down the entire litany. The world seems to be in chaos. We've got we're funding a war in Ukraine that never seems to end. And so as the world's falling apart, what do we worry about? We worry about this, Sean. The PFASs. Again, This is it, popular science. PFASs are found in a wide range of products, from nonstick pans, God forbid you use those, to clothing, can't have clothes, and help make materials resistant to water and stains. Understood. They may be harmful. Small study in Europe suggests that maybe. Got to follow these keywords here. They may be harmful to people, wildlife, and the environment, since they break down very slowly and can potentially persist over thousands of years. You know what, Sean? I really don't give a rat's ass about 1,000 years from now. I care about now. I care about the distant future. 1,000 years. We better be worried. You want to know why so many people are depressed? You want to know why so many people have anxiety? It's crap like this. They worry about things that are not even worth worrying about. It's a non-story. How the hell did popular science pick up this crap? What a crap story. But listen to this stuff. Multiple studies link, doesn't say cause, link chemicals to various cancers, and many vital water sources are contaminated with them. It's estimated that the PFAS are in more than 97% of Americans' bodies. Researchers have even found them in breast milk. Well, okay, there you go. So it's even in breast milk. The babies are now.
That was an interesting piece of information.
There we go. It's now in the breast milk. Everybody's going to die from these forever chemicals. They're in everything. But here's the best part. This is a conclusion by popular science. I think it's popular political science. Quote, straws made from plant-based materials such as paper and bamboo are often advertised as being more sustainable and eco-friendly than those made from plastic. I assume that would mean from those made of stainless steel. It takes a lot of energy to create stainless. I mean, you have to mine stainless steel. It's an ore. You have to transport it. You have to smelt it, right? A lot of work. A lot of carbon emissions being produced by making a stainless steel straw, right? A lot of energy consumption for making a stainless steel straw versus having a piece of bamboo, which grows pretty much in your backyard for free forever. You can't get rid of it. But get a load of this. So they talk about eco-friendliness and we want to get away from plastic. But the researcher, his name is Groffen, said in a statement, however, and this is precious, however, the presence of PFAS in these straws means that, well, it's not necessarily true. Got it? So, well,
sounds like a whole
plastic is bad. Paper is good. Well, not so fast because paper has this PFAS problem. So the research goes on. Yeah, you got to stomach this, Sean. The straws were primarily obtained from shops, supermarkets, fast food restaurants, where you would expect straws to be found, and underwent 2 rounds of testing for PFAS. About 69% of the brands tested in the study, and that is 27 brands out of the total of 39 that they've identified. 27 brands contain PFAS, with 18 different PFAS detected in total. Paper straws were the most likely to contain PFAS, with chemicals detected in 90%. 18 out of the 20 brands had paper straws had PFASs in it. They were also detected in 80%, or 4 out of the 5 brands of bamboo. I've never seen a bamboo straw. I mean, where do you find a bamboo straw? Is there bamboo straws?
Yeah. Maybe we've had one, but it's not like they
maybe I don't know. Maybe I got my load of PFASs. They were also detected. I didn't know it. 75%, 3 out of 4 brands of plastic straw brands had PFASs. 40%. You get the idea.
Right.
The team did not detect any PFAS in the 5 brands of steel straws tested. So it started with a sea turtle with a straw in its nose, and now we have an international crisis. Is that how you're reading it? Well, here's how they read it. According to the team, the concentrations of PFAS were low. Remember, small study in Europe.
Yeah.
So what is their conclusion? And by the way, you got to read really, really deep into this story to find this. It's all said and done. It's pretty low. And since people really don't use straws a lot, they pose a limited risk to health. But see, here's how you have to read the story. PFASs are a big problem. And then you have to kind of keep reading it as, well, but according to the team, the concentrations were low. And since people really don't use them very often, it's not a big risk. Yeah. However, PFASs can remain in the body. But anyhow, it's not a big deal.
There's a lot of contradictions.
There you go. Congratulations. It's the most non-story scientific story about nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Turtle with the straw up your nose. How did they ever find that turtle with the straw up his nose? How do you even know it was a straw? It didn't look like a straw to me. Yeah. And so, the story just, you got to just keep reading this stuff. Everything says, we got to get them out of there. Got to get them out there. Paper straws in the second paragraph. Presence of PFAS in paper and bamboo straws shows that they are not necessarily biodegradable. By the way, why does everything have to be biodegradable? I mean, do you want, okay, let me ask you a gross question, okay? Do you want your nephew's baby diaper to be biodegradable? Do you want to drink water that came out of a landfill, that little Shawnita
there's certain things I want to use
was dissolved in?
Frankly, there's certain things that I want to consume or use or have used for others that I want to vanish forever after.
Stuff that's in a landfill belongs in the landfill. Exactly. Why do you want everything to biodegrade as if that's a good thing? Well, let's just have everything just kind of melt into the earth, and then when we drink water, and by the way, who's to say, this is my take,
which is becoming a real problem, by the way.
Yeah, who's to say that what you're drinking doesn't have the PFAS in it that leached into the water system from the landfill that had all those straws that had PFAS in it?
Yep.
Who's to say that? I mean, the last sentence here. Last paragraph. The presence of PFAS in paper and bamboo straws shows that they are not necessarily biodegradable. We did not detect any PFAS in stainless steel straws, so I would advise consumers to use this type of straw, or here's the best part, or just stop using straws.
This whole segment.
There you go. Thank you. That's vital. That is vital information. I could not get through the week without knowing I really shouldn't be using straws because there's a forever chemical in them that I will. I mean, think about when you're using a straw. What is it, for a few minutes? Mm-hmm. Really? What is your exposure rate? Pretty low.
Absolutely.
But you wonder why the majority of women, I read this statistic, are on some form of antidepressants. Anxiety is out of control. Teenage suicide, drug use. The whole world, especially the Western world, is just worried about everything. But everything they worry about is not even worth talking about, let alone worrying about. Mm-hmm. The things that are worth worrying about, we don't worry about because we're lied to. And let's be honest, the mainstream media lies about everything all the time. They're very consistent. They lie about everything all the time. And so you can always rely upon them to give you misinformation. Or when I say misinformation, partial information. You get a bit of the story. You get a little teaser. You get the headline. And then when you read on and you do the deep dive, as we're doing today, you find out it's a non-story. But why did it make the news? Why is, all these scientific publications talking about non-issues when they concluded it's a non-issue? I mean, if the conclusion at the end of the story is stop using straws, which they actually said that, maybe you should stop using straws. Isn't that more of a political statement? Mm-hmm. Isn't that like somebody's editorial opinion? Well, if you just stop using straws, you won't be exposed to PFAS because you know what, Sean? It's your fault. Yeah. It's your fault you got cancer. We told you not to use those straws, but you did. You deserve it. Right?
I think there's a lot.
That's the takeaway?
Well, that was my whole question, is like
forever chemicals.
The point of this article, team found information, writing an editor decided to put it in magazine. People read it. Mm-hmm. At the end of reading it, what do the people learn and what do we do differently? Right. And as I asked myself that, what did I learn? Well, I learned that, PFAS may be a legitimate risk, but they're pretty they're already in existence in our own bodies, and it may not be as big of a risk as initially posed. The second is, they've given an alternative to plastic and paper straws, but that's just not even a half-baked idea. It's like cookie dough right now in terms of how mature the idea is and how viable it is. So at the end of reading this, I'm kind of like, there's not really a huge problem, or if it is, it's much lower tier priority. And your solution right now has no real basis to it. So It's kind of like, what the hell are you doing?
This is a scientific.
I know it sounds
this is a scientific publication. This is not an editorial. This is, it's a scientific publication.
Yeah.
So scientists write these stories, and presumably people engaged in the field of science read these stories. So you think, must be true. It's all these scientists. Well, you know what? It's called junk science. Okay. Misleading, misinformation, not even worthy of publication. It's one thing to say there's these forever chemicals. We're not certain what their harm is long term. Okay, 1,000 years from now, I don't care. It's one thing to say, well, there's elements within our drinking water, which is true, that may cause cancer. Well, of course, how often do you hear the story? Well, eating hamburger causes cancer. Then another story comes out, well, if you cook it longer, it won't.
Well, that's what I was going to say is I feel like these articles, right, these exact articles are the ones that cause more fear than good.
Right.
And you compound these type of articles over and over, you've got a society that's just worried about things that just, The
economy is collapsing. Our country is losing its constitutional rights. Law enforcement is corrupt. Cops are bad. Criminals are good. Everything is upside down and backwards. And the things that really need to have citizenry's input to right the ship is being ignored. That's all propaganda. But the bullshit, like this story, is garnishing news. Now, you didn't read the story. I did. And others, obviously, most people don't read this publication, but I do. But what you have is just nonsense, a nonsensical story. And again, it's just another scare tactic. Remember? Hey, Sean, remember?
You all attack people with fear.
That's right.
Remember that? You all attack people with fear.
There's some real truth to that.
You remember that guy?
I do.
The Fauci episode?
You all attack people with fear.
That's our world. That's our country. That's our political class. Attacking people with fear, giving them scare tactics. People only read the first paragraph or two, and then they didn't get down to the bottom that says this is all really not true. By the way, it's not true, but we got you to believe it. Anyhow, Sean, that's today's episode. Thanks for throwing in on all this.
Absolutely.
Just make sure you bring your stainless steel straw on your next date. Okay?
I will, along with my merch.
Yeah, so look at you, man. Look at you. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
Looks
I
good
appreciate it.
on you,
It's a really comfortable fit, too. And I'm not just saying that. Like, this is nice. It really is. There's a full little view there.
There's a little pocket for the straw that you just slide it in. It's got like a little pocket there.
Behind the ear.
Yeah. So make sure you go out with your stainless steel straw. Anyhow, thanks for watching the show, everybody. This is Russ Kendzior with my co-host Sean, wishing you guys a happy and healthy week. And until next week, we hope you have a safe day.
Have a safe one, everybody.
Bye-bye.